So, Prince Harry, his book is coming out in a couple of days, but we've already had leaks. And from what's coming out, I did watch the documentary, and at first I did kind of start feeling sorry for them. They're great actors, great at pulling the heartstrings, the lovely piano music in there. And if you've got empathy and you see Harry as this kind of like almost scapegoat, is he the black sheep of the family? I can sort of identify with that. And you start feeling sorry for them. And outcasts is something that I'm no stranger to. And so I did start, feeling sorry for him. Not now. Not now. Because in the past, yes, I have done other videos, and you've seen that I was actually looking, I think the Queen's death chart, we had something, and I can't remember what it was now, but there was something at, I think it was the sun of the Queen's death chart, was it? Or maybe it was the moon, I'm not sure. But it was at Algol. It was at 25 of Taurus. And thing is, Prince Harry, he's got this yod, and it's pointing to 25 Taurus. So I said at that time that I think he's on a mission to destroy the royal family. And then when I saw the interview on TV, the Netflix, at first, the first few episodes, I thought, well, it's not that bad. It's it's just their love story, and they're just trying to earn some money. But no, now that Yod, I think I was right the first time. But what's even more interesting, I was thinking, because there's clearly a lot of sibling rivalry going on, and I look and I thought, I've got to look at both their charts, because you've got the older brother, the sensible one, and Prince Harry, the wild child, scapegoat, whatever. I mean, is Wills the golden child? Is William the golden child? I don't know. But to me, I'm just seeing Prince Harry as a bit of a brat now, sorry to say. But yes, Prince William has also got a yod to Venus, which is also on Algol. And that means their yods are both pointing to Algol. So what is going on here? What's it about? Now, what's the base of their yod? I'm going to compare them. I think the foundation. Okay, I think it's the same. It is. So Prince Harry's yod is from Pluto across Pluto at 0 Scorpio, which is where 0 fixed signs is where Pluto's going to be. So it'll be squaring his Pluto when it enters Aquarius. On the other side is Neptune. So William's yod is Pluto to Neptune as well. So interesting, because it's a very kind of magical yod when you get Neptune and Pluto, both very archontic, deceptive, elite sort of energies, and very, they can be dark, obviously, and then pointing to a very feminine planet, which, what I'm thinking could be Diana, because for one, Venus in Taurus, it's like the kind of Empress archetype. I mean, to me, it is Diana in that role. And then when it's for Prince Harry, it's Ceres, which is more the mourning, which is more of seeing her as the mother he lost, because obviously with Prince William, he had her more in his life because he was older when she passed away. But with Harry, he was only 12. I mean, there's only 2 years difference between them, but those 2 years are quite, they're big years. Between 12 and 14 is a long time in a young boy's life, especially with the mother. So yeah, it is interesting that they probably experienced Diana in a different way, including, I suppose, we don't know because we can't speculate, but what she was going through and what she was suffering in her marriage to Prince Charles as well. And I think William probably saw the more difficult side. Sorry, not William. Harry, just by looking at the chart, is seeing a more difficult side because his moon is on Capulus, which is demons, demons that he has to slay. And that's next to Ceres as well. And for his Yod as well is kind of connected with the North Node, which is Alcyone, which is the Pleiades. So, he's got a big role to play. And all we can do with looking at these charts is they are characters in the big play that is in the world at the moment. And they've become quite fascinating. And I didn't want to, I kind of resisted doing this for a while because I thought, is this gossip and tittle tattle? I don't want to be doing gossip and tits. Sorry. Tittle tattle kind of astrology. But the thing is, it's irresistible because sibling rivalry, family, dynasties, which they are, and family dynamics are why we are so interested in them, because all of us can identify with some of the characters in this play. And I don't think I'm not that, like, I watched the whole of that blooming documentary with Meghan and Harry just because I was, my daughter really wanted to see it as well, so it was our Christmas kind of like treat. Well, anyway, we watched The Crown first and then we watched that, and the first two episodes were really interesting because there was a lot of footage of Diana and the backstory and them growing up, which is always more interesting. But by the end of it, it was like, oh, just shut up already, you're really milking this and there's nothing more to say and it's getting quite boring now. So now, when will it end? Because I know that, there's going to be this book that's going to start, people are going to be commenting on that and having an opinion on that. And then now it's all like, well, William's got to say something now because this is unprecedented. I don't think he should. I really don't think he should, because keep a dignified silence, William. Just be dignified, which he is. But they do mention that all right, we have to talk about the scuffle. Let's talk about the scuffle where they apparently had a bit of a violent altercation where they had a punch up. And we know that brothers do this. It's nothing new. It doesn't matter if you're bloody royal. It's going to happen anyway. How many times, so I'm just comparing it to Dallas, how many times did JR end up in the pool and Bobby punch his face at his lights out, Anyway, I don't know who's who here, but it just, the account of it, or what was said on the press, I haven't read the book, but the account of it just made me laugh, because there's Harry going on about, I'm the big army boy and I experienced real life. I'm really down with the kids, man. I'm really like, the rest of my family didn't experience this real life. I went to war and I shot people and I'm such a hard guy. And then it's like, here's this punch up with Wills. I was on the floor, broke my necklace, and then I had to ring up my therapist. You couldn't make it up. It's like, really? Really hard, man? I sound like, I don't expect people to be, all right, he's a sensitive lad, but don't you think the juxtaposition of those two different portrayals that he's trying to, these two different types of image that he's trying to get across just do not match up? And then, of course, Meghan was going on about, there was no help for me, I needed a counsellor and there was no one there. But, apparently they've got a hotline to Harry's counsellor, but not for Meghan. Really? Ugh. Anyway, so, that this isn't really making sense. And anyway, let's get on to the astrology. Sorry, that's tittle tattle, isn't it? So let's see the difference between their charts. So we got this Yod, which is kind of interesting. Prince William's is to the 6th house of service. And, it's on Algol. Which it does describe Diana, doesn't it, really? This is spooky. Okay, I didn't draw up Diana's charts. I didn't want to be looking at too many charts. I'm going to probably do a series, you know, because they get views actually. This is the one thing on my YouTube channel that always gets views is the royal stuff. And I'm interested in it. I absolutely am, because when you get, we know everyone knows their story. So you can see astrology in action. Well, guess what? Diana's Venus is also a 24 Taurus. Whoa, which is on Algol. So, but she has that in a T square with the moon and Uranus. So, oh my God, so much could be said about that. But let's not get off subject. But I just wanted to see. So obviously, I think Diana was probably closer to William because he's older and he looks like her as well. And then they've got the Venus is conjunct as well. And I mean, I don't know. Again, in The Crown, it's kind of portrayed like he was almost hers. She relied on William more because he was older and she could confide in him. So he was a bit like her therapist as well. So yeah, she probably was shared more with William than little Harry. And I mean, I remember that Diana saying, you know, Harry's the naughty one. So yeah, so that's just quite eerie that they have Yods pointing to this 25-degree Algol degree of Taurus, and Diana also. She didn't have a Yod, as far as I can tell. I'm just looking at a different sort of chart, but she had a T-square to it. So there you go. So obviously this position is very important. 25 of the fixed signs. And we have Saturn. Where is Saturn now? Because Saturn, obviously in Aquarius, is coming up to square that, isn't it? So it's all gonna hit the fan, as they say. Okay, so expect things to start getting very heated around the end of January. So in a couple of weeks' time, when I guess the fallout, because I know Harry's got some interviews going on as well. So I think we should look at what transits are going on. Well, no, hang on. Let's compare their charts, because apparently William does have a temper, and although he looks very calm and collected, let's compare their charts. I mean, actually, Prince Harry, you know, he's Capricorn rising, so he is a bit more reserved actually. But then his ruler is Saturn in Scorpio, so there's the revenge. Whereas we'll just compare. We'll go one by one. Then we go to Prince William's ascendant, which is at the end of Sagittarius, and that, I mean, I like the last decan of Sagittarius because it is very much, I guess, I see it as a sort of spiritual warrior area, and he has Neptune rising as well. So Prince William is an interesting soul, I think. What's his rising star? Yeah, Eteman, which is in the dragon, and Akumen, which is very focused as well. I think it's the tip of the scorpion sting as well. Actually, let's just stick with William for now instead of jumping from one to the other, because William, yeah. So William has his Sag rising, but he's got. So this must be. We know that Diana was a Cancerian, and can I just see what degree? Yeah, see, look, her sun was at 9 degrees, and William's sun and moon are in that first degree, that first decan of Cancer as well. His North Node is at 13 degrees, which is on his mother's sun. So they must have been really close. It's such a shame. So yeah, he's got those deep. So he's a soppy one, Prince William, underneath it all, but he's got the hard shell as well. So yeah, he doesn't have any really something. Where is this temper then? I mean, even Mars is in Libra, which is, yeah, it doesn't look like it's there, but if on Prince William's chart there is Mars at 9 degrees of Libra, which is square his moon, it doesn't show up on this bloody chart. It looks like it's more like yeah, it is. It is. Mars is squaring his sun and moon. Okay. I mean, it's wide for the sun, but it would explain things, the temper, if there is one. Okay. Whereas Prince Harry he's all trines as well. I mean, both of them are trines and Yods. Look at them, both of them. Anyway, I just think it's really interesting that they have this Yod, that it connects with Diana's Venus, and, there's something big going on here, and that Saturn is going to be squaring their Yod's planet, that everything is pointing to. So as for, I think we need to look at Prince Harry because his transits, because obviously the book is coming out on the 10th, and what are his transits on the 10th? Really, nothing particularly, but there are things coming up that are more interesting. So he's got Uranus coming up to his IC, which is notorious for moving, but it's also cutting off from the father. But hang on, it goes retrograde. So it's going retrograde over February. Is it going retrograde? Oh no, it's been retrograde, sorry. But it will come back on the 17th of the 6th of April. So I think, I'm not sure. Hang on, when's the coronation? Right, so the coronation is supposed to be on the 8th of May. So, let's see, 8th of May going forward. I think, there's going to be a lot of, it's still going to be around the sun, weirdly. How weird is that? Okay, so the sun, which represents, obviously, the king, and Charles has been crowned, is going to be on Harry's IC, which is his father. And then you've got Uranus there, conjunct, which is like, so I don't know. I don't think he's going to be there. Or be shocker, he turns up. Or he's in England, but he doesn't go. Or I don't know. There's going to be some drama around it. There's got to be, which makes it all a bit more exciting than, because, Prince Charles, he's an old geezer now. He's not like young, fresh, new, king. So they got to kind of make it a bit more entertaining. And this whole thing with Harry, will he, won't he, does make it more entertaining, whether you like it or not. So yeah, I think there's going to be, obviously the drama will be amped up until the coronation to keep everyone really interested in this thing, which is a big distraction because there are some things going on, like excess deaths in the UK, which, I could cover as well. But I mean, I don't know what I can do with the astrology with that. But I just want to say there is that going on too. And this could all be a great big, sideshow distraction. But at the same time, I do find it interesting because it's a study of narcissism as well. And I want to get into obviously the relationship between Harry and Meghan as well, because there's stuff going on with their Davidson chart, and there's speculation that that they live separate lives. But anyway, let's keep to the two princes. So that's a very interesting transit that I shall repeat. On Harry's IC, which represents the father, and his roots, and England, we've got Uranus and the sun, which is just explaining what's going on. So that's why I find astrology interesting. I don't think that the planets are controlling his life. They're not doing this for him. But what it is, it's for us to examine this. You can see that there is some synchronicities and meaningful coincidences, and it's like reading tarot cards. Tarot cards, it doesn't mean anything until you pick them up and you start looking at them. So the tarot cards themselves, this is how I'm kind of thinking of astrology now, is that the cards in astrology can't, the cards in tarot can't do anything to you. They don't have that power, but it's meaningful to look at them. If you're drawn towards, say, let's have a look at this chart today. Like, for example, I was really interested to have a look at the brothers' charts, and then I find these meaningful coincidences, and they do tell us a story. They tell us something, don't they? So and same with this transit that's happening on the coronation as well. So, what is all that about? It is interesting how it works, And then, Pluto will be in Aquarius. It will be squaring Prince Harry's Pluto, which isn't a big deal, but it kind of is a big deal when the nodes are also going to be doing that too, because Pluto will square the nodes. Now, the nodes will fall on his Pluto. And because Harry is part of the elite, when is that going to happen? I'm just going back. Sorry about the clicking. It's me. Here we go. So that's in July. So, Harry's playing a role and it's interesting, but it's an interesting study in sibling rivalry and all the narcissism, as I've said, and of course, there's the race questions too. Let's not forget that. And the polarization between, who is more traditional and who is more progressive. All of those things play into this whole big drama. Oh, one more thing. I thought there must be another major transit. I don't think Pluto is doing anything, really. It's at 20... Oh, hang on. Pluto has been trining, because it's in Capricorn, has been trining that Ceres thing again. Ceres on Algol. So that's... I guess it's kind of like... Ceres can be kind of the victim as well and feeling victimized, and the innocent person here who's been wronged by he calls the family the institution, doesn't he, which is kind of Pluto, but it's a trine, so Pluto's kind of helped him get his, I don't know, revenge, or I suppose it's almost like feeling like he's telling truth to power, So that's probably what that transit was. Because that was going on, that's been going on and off for the last couple of years. And of course, I think the last year, really. I don't want to go back and have a look, but it's been the build up to the whole Netflix, because we knew it was coming. But interestingly, during Netflix, he had Neptune opposite his sun. So is that deception? People going on about, he's just being one lie after the other, lying. Well, I think he probably believes what he's saying, and he's under the spell, he's under the spell of the glamour of everything. And the amount of times, well, maybe we should go into that in another video. I don't really want to get into Meghan yet, but needless to say, Neptune opposite his sun during Netflix, you can figure that one out. Very deceptive, gaslighting, all those things. All right, then, I think that's enough for this installment. But the next one, I think, well, you tell me what you want me to have a look at, whether I should look at more Prince William or Harry and Meghan's Davison chart, because I don't know if I've done much of their synastry, or I haven't done an updated one, so maybe I should do an update on that. Anyway, thanks for listening. All the best. Bye.